Hello everybody, it's Mr. Goober here. I hope you're all well. Happy Thursday. I hope you've had a good week. I just wanted to talk to you again via my vlog about various updates of the school. What I'm starting to do now is tweak the vlogs so that they, yes, focus on key updates for the week, but share with you some wider information about how we work at the Academy and what really makes our Academy slightly different from others, and how we deliver high quality education. And today I want to talk to you about assessment. Obviously over the past few weeks I've been talking to you about baselines and GLs coming up, and I've touched upon assessment, but what I really want to do is give you a kind of detailed teacher insight into what assessment looks like both within the Academy and within the UK British curriculum schools. So first of all, the key misconception from people that perhaps aren't educators is that assessment is all about tests and examinations. And I would say 90% of assessments actually are not tests and examinations. They happen on a day-to-day basis in lessons all the time. Probably every minute of every lesson there is assessment going on. And really what assessment is about is observing and listening to the children, and then questioning and having those discussions to really gain an understanding of what the children know, how well they know it, and what they need to learn next. And you can take this idea at home as well. So when you are talking, and it doesn't have to be necessarily kind of educationally focused, like maths, English, science, it can be about anything. It's really about getting children to explain their understanding. So the key words are how and why. So for example, if we're looking at English and a child is using full stops, yes, they might be able to put the full stops in the correct place, but do they know why that full stop is going there? Are they putting it because their teachers told them to use full stops? Or are they putting it because they know it's an end of a clause, they know it's the end of the idea? Do they also know the impact of a full stop and what that has? You know, lots of full stops, lots of short sentences can pick up pace and make things sound quick, whereas longer sentences can slow the pace of a text down. And so the depth of knowledge of full stops can actually be looked at, and you can ask questions to really make sure that children deepen that understanding. And that's the same for mathematics. So take 2 plus 2. Children should know the fact, but do they know why 2 plus 2 equals 4? Do they know how they can show it? So that why and how really deepens that child's understanding of what those facts and that information that they've learned means. And teachers will ask those questions over and over again throughout lessons to really make sure that they gain an understanding of just how well a child knows those facts. If a child can't explain why but can still get them right, then that's nothing to worry about. It's just about the teacher then knows that they need to start to play around with materials and objects, counters, to really start to understand what 2 plus 2 actually means and to deepen their understanding. And that's the same in English, science, and our connected curriculum subjects as well. So really, that kind of day-to-day assessment makes up the majority of what happens here at the Academy and across British curriculum schools. However, the next kind of step is those summative assessments that have been taking place recently and take place frequently out the year. And that's not examinations, and they're not even really tests. We describe them as assessments and quizzes. So, for example, our baselines have all been about observations, but we've also given children that are slightly older in Key Stage 2 our STAR Maths assessments, our STAR Reader assessments, which are quizzes that they do on the iPads that quizzes them on the basic core skills of mathematics and reading. And that gives us some summative information that tells you exactly what reading age the children have. It informs things like what level books children can access in the library, and it gives teachers a summary of the child's current starting points. And of course now we have our GLs, which do a similar thing. Obviously they usually take place at the end of the year, so it's a good way of summarising the child's learning over that year. But again, we really want to make sure that we get a good idea of what the children can and can't do. And so we do these casually. We make sure the children aren't stressed, so we get a really confident outcome from the children that really shows us exactly what they can and can't do. That's why we don't ask children to revise too much for these assessments, because if they revise really hard, we get a really heightened result. But of course, when they come back to school later, their performance probably doesn't reflect what they got in the GL, and it's difficult for teachers to really identify what their next steps are. So we want the GL assessments to be a really true picture of what the children can and can't do. And Building on from that, I also wanted to quickly talk to you about the two key things that are coming, that we're kind of doing to enhance assessment in the primary and FS. So the first one is Sensory Technology. So a letter went out earlier this week sharing the announcement of our partnership with Sensory Technology and the workshop that will be being hosted by our Sensory partners next week on Wednesday, that will introduce parents to this platform. This is for Key Stage 2 children and really will start to bring this assessment together and allow parents to do things at home with their children based upon these assessments. So it's an online portal, it's an online learning environment where the children will log on and they can access maths, English and science. Learning content where the children can go through. It's similar to the GLs in terms of the way it asks questions, so it's good preparation for those assessments. And the great thing is that they will automatically set children next steps. So there is basically an unlimited amount of activities for the children to access at home and in school. And the key thing is that the more learning it takes, or the more kind of learning and input that takes place on Sensory, the more data that is collected about the students, which is shared with the teacher. The teacher accesses that information and can really make sure that their lessons are targeting what the children can and can't do, and really building and deepening that learning. So this is really going to make sure that learning and assessment doesn't just happen in school, it happens both at home, so that we can really start to build a picture and parents can log in and see the child's performance and also set tasks for the children to work on at home. So if as a parent you really want them to work on spellings, you can go in and find the spelling units and get the children to practice. So that's something really exciting for our Key Stage 2 students, and start to formalise those assessments and prepare them for those GLs. The second one is our learning ladders, and this really is about parent communication of our internal assessments. So when teachers are assessing, normally they create a report at the end of a term which lists all the objectives and what the children have achieved and what they're still working on. What we really want to do is enhance that so that parents can log in and find that information out at any time during the year, and that's exactly what Learning Ladders does. You will be able to log in and you will be able to see a live feed of the kind of current performance of your child, what they can and can't do. But the key thing as well is you'll be able to click on these objectives, and Learning Ladders will suggest activities and describe what that learning looks like and advise you on how you as parents can support the children at home while the teachers do it in school as well. So this is really about assessment information being reported to parents far more clearly and regularly. Indeed, you can access that as many times as you like throughout the academic year. And so we're really excited with these developments, and I hope this has given you a view of how assessment looks both within British curriculums and here at the Academy, and how we're really looking to enhance it even further to ensure there really is a triangulated student, parent and teacher approach to what we do here. Have a really great weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.